Okay, dear devotees and dear friends, today we are going to discuss right understanding. So last week we were talking about the Four Noble Truths, the suffering, the cause for the suffering, the cessation of the suffering, and also the path to overcome the suffering. So the last one is called, in the old language, the Pali, the ancient language that Buddha used, Dukkha Samudaya Nirodha Magga. Magga is the path. So Magga as the path, we call it the Noble Eightfold Path because it has 8 ways of overcome the suffering. Samma Sati, the right mindfulness, is one of those 8. The first one out of those 8 noble path is called Samma Ditti. Samma is translated as right or correct. Ditti means understanding or view. There are many meanings, but we consider it as right understanding. It's very commonly translated as right understanding. In here, if we talk about related to teaching of Buddha, for Buddhist, the right understanding is the right understanding of Buddha, his qualities and the virtues, and why we call him as Buddha, because of his enlightenment. And also the other meaning of Buddha is the awakened one. We practice here the awareness. Through this awareness, the practice in this awareness, being aware of everything, what is happening within ourselves and around us. So that's generally the awareness that we practice here. We call it mindfulness. Buddha is the fully enlightened one, and also that's why we call him as the awakened one. Then Dhamma, his teaching, the right understanding of the teaching of Buddha. There are 5 things related to the teaching of Buddha. When we recite it in Pali, Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sanditthiko Akaliko Ehi Passiko Opanaiko Pachattang Veditabbo Vinyuhiti. That means he has explained it very well, his Dhamma. And also Sanditthiko, when someone practices it, he or she will get the benefit in this life itself, or immediately we can get the result of practicing Buddha's teaching. Akaliko means there is no time. The results gives immediately, maybe in the present or in the future. And also his teaching is related to the whole time, in the past, or maybe in 19th century, 20th century, 21st, even the 25th. So his teaching is widely open to all the times. The teaching came from 3rd century BC, but still we apply it. Although we sometimes some theories in modern science, maybe someone says something, create a theory, maybe in 10 years time, 20 years time, another person can change it. He can prove it that was wrong. It is not the truth anymore. So, but Buddha's teaching is similar all the time. In the past, in the present, and in the future, that's the truth. We can't change it. Ehipassiko is come and see. And Buddhists are not evangelical people. We don't try to go and knock on the door, see, we have these textbooks and can you come and do this? And we don't do that. So, ehipassiko means come and see. That's the other thing. Come and see means, you can question it, you can understand it, you can read it, you can practice it. So, come and see means, and it's up to you, it's open to everyone. And also, paccattam veditabbo vinyuheti. Paccattam means evidence based, that's the latest word, like evidence based. You can practice it, then you can realize the truth. By applying it to everyday life, you can realize, yes, it is fine, we can go ahead, we can practice it. We can continue that practice. And also, vinyuheti, mostly this teaching is very welcome by or understood by the wise people. People who can understand the truth, they can easily realize the teaching of Buddha. So, right understanding means you are aware of those qualities. And thirdly, understanding about the qualities of the followers of Buddha, or the monks, or the enlightened monks. And just following the teaching of Buddha, they achieved the nirvana, or they overcome all the sufferings. So we have those monks, and also still there are so many monks and who are practicing this. So we call them Sangha, or the community of the monks. So for Buddhist, right understanding means getting some kind of clear, proper understanding of Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. In generally, those who are willing to know more about teaching of Buddha, and that's their understanding about the why we should learn more about the teaching of Buddha, how we can apply it to our everyday life. So you don't need to be a Buddhist to practice the teaching of Buddha to have a happy life. And generally, right understanding is when you start something, you need to have kind of understanding about the thing that you are going to start. Maybe if you are going to set up a business, for an example, a kind of restaurant. So you got funding to set up a Sri Lankan restaurant, for an example. Okay, so you need to know, you need to be aware of the Sri Lankan recipes and curries, and the way how you are going to manage it. If you don't have that understanding, proper understanding of Sri Lankan, the curries and the rice, different varieties of rice and things, then you can't run that restaurant. Okay, so, and when you are going to start another kind of business, whatever the thing that you are going to start, you need to have proper understanding. If I'm going to start kind of maybe therapy thing, so then I need to know more about Reiki, for an example. Now people don't practice more Reiki, but but if I want to do some Reiki, then I need to know about I need to open those channels. Otherwise, okay, Steve, come and I will give some healing and Reiki, and it doesn't work because I know nothing about Reiki. So I need to have proper understanding before I start learning Reiki. Why should I start Reiki? Will it be beneficial for others? Then I need to get proper training to deliver it. Then only I can be successful, maybe as a Reiki master or whatever. But without knowing it, without having proper understanding of that thing that I am going to do, then it won't be very successful. So that for our everyday life, whatever we are going to start, we need to have proper understanding. We call it right understanding. So we have two meanings. A, for our general life, things that we are going to start or things we are continuing, then we need to have right understanding, proper understanding about the thing. B, if it comes to Buddhism, then the clear understanding or the right understanding of Buddha, his teaching, and the followers of Buddha. So then we can follow it with proper understanding. Okay, that's something about the right understanding in a very simple way of describing it. Okay, any questions so far? No? Then thank you. Then let's practice Metta Bhavana.